Jenna Bush Hager took a much-needed summer break from the Today Show. She returned on Tuesday, September 2nd, but she was absent again the next day. She opened up about the heartbreaking reason she missed Wednesday's show. Jenna Bush Hager, heartbreaking reason she was MIA from Today. Jenna Bush Hager has been co-hosting the fourth hour of The Today Show since 2019. She's now the primary host after Hoda Kotb left earlier this year. Today with Jenna and Friends is still searching for the perfect permanent replacement. Fans are used to seeing Jenna on the morning program. She took a break at the end of August to go on a summer vacation with her husband Henry Hager and their 3 kids, Mila 12, Poppy 9, and Hal 5. Jenna Bush Hager, she returned to the program on Tuesday, September 2nd, but was missing again the next day. She returned again on Thursday, September 4th, and shared the heartbreaking reason she was MIA. Jenna Hager Bush returned to her home state of Texas to interview some of the surviving parents of the Camp Mystic campers who were lost in the flash floods in early July. The camp lost 27 young campers and counselors to the floods that claimed over 130 people over the July 4th holiday weekend. At least one of the campers at the all-girls camp is still missing 2 months later. Every phone call, every text, your heart stops because you hope it's news that they found your child, the girl's father told Jenna Hager Bush. Parents of young campers lost to flood break silence. The loss of lives at Camp Mystic and throughout Texas hit close to home for the Today Show host. Jenna Bush Hager grew up in Texas. Her mother, former First Lady Laura Bush, was a counselor at Camp Mystic many years ago. Jenna is friends with some of the parents whose kids died in the flood. They sent their girls off to camp this summer, thinking it was the safest place on earth. But they never got a chance to bring them home, Jenna Bush Hager said, before the segment with the parents aired on Today. Families are seeking change in laws. Despite their grief, the families of the Camp Mystic victims jumped into action to make sure the tragedy never happens again. They worked with Texas lawmakers to pass the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act bill. The law passed in the state capitol and is expected to be signed into law later this week. The bill requires new emergency protocols and building restrictions at youth camps in Texas. Camp Mystic reportedly didn't evacuate immediately, which likely contributed to the deaths of the campers and counselors. It became very, very clear that this wasn't an accident. This was complacency, and it is 100% preventable. One parent told Jenna Hager Bush about the tragedy that unfolded at the camp
on Thursday,
in July.
September 4th, when Jenna returned to Studio 1A with a story that hit close to home. She revealed she'd traveled to Texas to interview the grieving parents of children lost in the Camp Mystic flash floods, a tragedy that claimed over 130 lives, including 27 campers and counselors, during the July 4th weekend. The parents I talked to, including some of my own friends, are dealing with unimaginable grief and pain, Jenna shared, her voice cracking as she introduced the segment. The raw emotion of her mission, coupled with her personal ties to the camp, made this one of the most powerful moments in Today history, leaving viewers in tears and buzzing on X with reactions like, "Jenna's heart is pure gold. This story broke me." The Camp Mystic tragedy, a heartbreaking loss. The Camp Mystic disaster is a wound still fresh for Texas and the nation. Located on the banks of the Guadalupe River, the 100-year-old all-girls Christian summer camp was considered a safe haven, a place where generations of families, including Jenna's own, sent their daughters for adventure and growth. Jenna's mother, former First Lady Laura Bush, was a drama counselor at Camp Mystic decades ago, and Jenna herself counts many of the affected parents as friends. They sent their girls off to camp this summer thinking it was the safest place on earth, but they never got a chance to bring them home, Jenna said, her words echoing the heartbreak of a community shattered by loss. The July floods were relentless, sweeping away 27 young lives, including campers like Hadley, Mary, Molly, Virginia, Leela, Abby, and Sile, who remains missing 2 months later. Every phone call, every text, your heart stops because you hope it's news that they found your child. Will Stewart, Sile's father, told Jenna in a gut-wrenching interview. Another parent, Lacey Hollis, recalled telling her daughter Virginia, "It's the safest place on earth, only to face the unimaginable." The tragedy hit Jenna hard, not just as a Texan, but as a mother and friend, making her interviews with the parents aired on Today a raw, unfiltered look at grief and resilience that's got fans calling it must-see TV. A fight for change, the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act. What makes this story truly electrifying is the action that followed heartbreak. The Camp Mystic families, fueled by their grief, refused to let their children's deaths be in vain. They banded together to push for the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act, a groundbreaking bill passed in the Texas Senate on September 3, 2025, and set to be signed into law on September 5. The legislation mandates new emergency protocols and building restrictions for youth camps across Texas, addressing critical failures exposed by the tragedy. It became very, very clear that this wasn't an accident, this was complacency, and it is 100% preventable, Blake Bonner, father of Leela, told Jenna in a gut-wrenching interview. Another parent, Lacey Hollis, recalled telling her daughter Virginia, "It's the safest place on earth, only to face the unimaginable." The tragedy hit Jenna hard, not just as a Texan, but as a mother and friend, making her interviews with the parents aired on Today a raw, unfiltered look at grief and resilience that's got fans calling it must-see TV. Join the conversation. What do you think of Jenna Bush Hager's emotional journey to cover the Camp Mystic tragedy? Are you inspired by the family's fight for the Heavens 27 Camp Safety Act? And how do you feel about Jenna's powerful storytelling on Today? Sound off in the comments and head to TV Shows Ace for the latest updates on this heart-wrenching saga. Catch Today with Jenna and Friends on NBC or stream on Peacock, and join the buzz on X with hashtags like Jenna Bush Hager and Heavens 27. This is one story that's uniting hearts and sparking change. Don't miss a moment.